These wizards at Forlocks.
Welcome back. I want to start off by saying that I hope everyone is healthy and safe during the chaotic... I don't even know how to describe it. During everything that we are currently going through, please be safe. Please stay home as much as possible. Be safe, be healthy. Yeah. Seeing how I'm a bartender by trade, and due to the circumstances, my bar is closed. So I am, for lack of a better term, jobless. So I've had plenty of spare time. Most of my time I'm trying to spruce up this channel and get the website and the web store up and running. But it's also giving me some extra free time to actually play some games again. I made the mistake of getting into Spellbreak. And that game is amazing. It's so good. If you haven't played it, play it. It's in beta. It's amazing. Get some. Go get some. But while playing it, I figured, yeah, why not build one of the gauntlets? Why? Because we can. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So this week, we're going to start the gauntlet and then finish it up next week. So let's jump on to it. We're going to start off by sewing a glove. I'm not going to lie to you. This is probably the first official time that I've ever actually tried to make a glove. I typically have a friend that can sew a lot better than I can, but this time I did not. So I attempted. It's not the best, but hey, do what you gotta do. And here's a perfect example of how it doesn't always go correctly. I think I went through three gloves before I finally made one that worked. So don't feel bad and don't beat yourself up if it doesn't work out the first time or the second time. It still wasn't perfect, but all in all, for being my first official time using the sewing machine, I'm pretty happy with it. Now next we're going to make the patterns for the armor pieces on the gauntlet. The easiest way to do this is to just take a latex glove and literally just draw out the pattern on the gloves, and then we're going to cut out each of those patterns and then just trace it onto foam. For the finger pieces I specifically used 2mm foam, and then for the top palm piece I used a combination of 10mm for the base of it, and then layered 2mm on top of it. And it's always important to label your pieces. I can't tell you how many times in the past I have done things like this or projects like this and forgot to label them, so I didn't know, so I ended up not knowing what part went where. So here I literally label each finger piece just so I know what it corresponds to. Now for the palm piece, you could do the latex glove again and just use a new glove and draw it out. I found it was a little bit easier for me to trace my hand on a piece of paper and then draw out my pattern and cut that out from that and then transfer it onto the foam. At the end of the day, it's just using whatever technique works best for you and you're most comfortable with. Now next, we need to Plastidip all of the foam pieces to seal them. You also probably want to heat seal them before you Plastidip them, because the heat sealing is going to close all the cells and the pores of the foam and make it easier to paint and easier to put the Plastidip on. I just completely forgot. And then next we're just going to start painting. Start off with just some simple base coats and then add on some different colors. And then almost lastly, my absolute favorite step is weathering. So we're going to weather it to give it some just a stressed, aged look. I feel like this is the step in props and costumes that really makes your piece pop and really makes it feel realistic and more immersive in the world. And then I wanted to tackle the little poison sphere on the palm. I didn't exactly know how I wanted to do this, but I found some DIY ornaments, like clear ornaments at the hobby store. So I decided to take some water, I put in some pearlized airbrush paint and some different various green pigment paints. Here I tried scraping in some pastels to see if that would affect the color at all. I don't think it had too much of a difference, in all honesty. And then my goal was to basically just pour the colored water into one side of the ornament, and I'd actually traced the ornament out on a bigger one and cut that out to kind of give it a recess on the inside and just glued them together. So I poured in the water, put the cap on the back, and then just hot glued it down to create a seal. And this is what we came up with. Thank you all for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to assembling it and finishing it next week. Ran into some hurdles, but hey, it happens. So thanks for hanging out. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you disliked it, double tap that dislike button. Subscribe if you're not already a part of the Wizards Guild. We'd love to have you on our journeys. Comment down below on if you do play Spellbreak, what is your favorite gauntlet? Mine obviously is poison. Have a wonderful day, guys. Please be safe. Oh, and lastly, I officially have the shop up and running. If you want to snag some of my prints of my photos, www.wizardgreencraft.com. Until further notice, that's basically my job. So here we are. I'm not stressed or scared. Have fun. Oh God.